Mabuhay and welcome to our music education class. Before we begin our lesson, let us first answer your pre-test. I want you to identify the name of the romantic composers based on the compositions listed below. Write your answers on the space provided before the number. The answers are 1. Schumann, 2. Tchaikovsky, 3. Tchaikovsky, 4. Berlioz, 5. Saint-Saëns. Good job! Before we proceed to our lesson, let us recall your past lesson in music. Look at least 5 familiar terms from the pool of letters and write your answers on the space provided below. You have 30 seconds for this activity. The possible answers in any order are ballad, waltz, scherzo, sonata, polonaise, prelude, etude, Franz Liszt. Great work! Your memory surely did not fail you. Now, we can start our lesson. Are you ready? Let's talk about the music of Franz Liszt. The best word that describes the works of Franz Liszt is virtuosity. He was known as the virtuoso pianist and composer, and the busiest musician during the Romantic era, which include playing and studying at Vienna and Paris, at the same time touring throughout Europe by giving concerts. Franz Liszt was born in the village of Borjan, Hungary. He displayed remarkable talent at a young age and easily understood sight reading through the effort of his father as his first teacher at the age of 6. A turning point came in his early 20s when he heard the virtuoso violinist Niccolo Paganini performed. So he decided to dedicate himself doing piano music as what Paganini has done for the violin. Most of the people from his time considered him as a generous composer by sharing both his time and money to the orphans, victims of disasters, and the many students he taught music for free. He was known as the musical architect through his symphonic poem by attempting to translate the greatest works of literature into musical terms, as shown in some of his compositions. His piano compositions include works such as Piano Sonata in B minor and the 2 piano concertos, which have entered the standard selection. He also made exuberant piano transcriptions of operas and famous symphonies. Many of his piano compositions are among the most technically challenging pieces. The piano works of Franz Liszt are Grand Etudes after Paganini, 12 Transcendental Etudes, Sonata in B minor, Years of Pilgrimage, 3 volumes, Operatic Fantasies after Bellini, Mozart, Verdi, and Wagner, among others. arrangements of the 9 Beethoven symphonies, transcriptions of Lieder by Schubert, Liszt's Hungarian Rhapsodies were originally written for solo piano, but many were arranged for orchestra or other combinations of instruments. The Hungarian Rhapsody No. 2 is the most popular and was the basis for the Tom and Jerry cartoon called The Cat Concerto. Franz Liszt's work for piano and orchestra are two concertos, E flat and A major, Totentanz or Dance of the Death, which adapts a Gregorian chant known as Dies Irae or Day of Wrath, Malediction for piano and strings. His orchestral compositions are Symphonic Poems, Hamlet, Lay Preludes, Faust Symphony, and Dante Symphony. For your listening activity, I want you to listen to the music of Franz Liszt's Totentanz or Dance of the Death and try to imagine the scene while listening. Draw a scene based on your imagination and write a short description at the back of your output. Take a picture of your output and forward it to your teacher. Let's also listen carefully to the selected music of Franz Liszt. Analyze the music according to its elements and fill out the given chart below. For your reflection, I want you to complete the unfinished paragraph below and place your answers in your journal log. For your post-test, I want you to read each statement below and write the correct answers on the space provided before the number. Please write legibly. The answer is A. The answer is A. The answer is D. The answer is A. The answer is C. Good job! I hope next session you will do great as much as you did today. Thank you for listening. I hope that you learned something from our session today. I'll see you next time. Goodbye!